Good day, lords and ladies of the internet. I am your host, the Parafox Archangel, the English gentleman of the internet, and I will welcome you back to Trigger Hatty Havoc, trial number 4, where after Hat Kid has already been trialed, we have no idea who we're going to be playing as or what the hell's in store. So, before we get started, there is a little bit of a warning attached to this trial. For viewer discretion is advised, for this trial will touch upon suicide and hanging. And so, if this bothers you, you might want to just skip this episode, or just hopefully skip over the parts which I will put a warning in for. Because I'm not going to skip it. Because I want to see the entire trial. Because that's how I am. I apologize. So, to anyone who hanging and suicide and subjects like that can bother you, you just might be advised. So, without needless ado, it's time for us to start trial number 4. So, here it is. Warning to viewer discretion advised. This trial will touch upon suicide and hanging seriously. If this bothers you, you'll probably hate this trial. If you want to play... And, yeah, I'm not gonna play it without going over it, so... I'm already giving it a thumbs up, and let's play. Okay. Disclaimer, this trial will tackle heavy subjects. Viewer discretion advised. I don't want to spoil the trial, but this is important. If the subjects of suicide and hanging bother you, you will likely hate this trial. Hat in Time does have minions hung by nooses in the subcon forest level, and suicide is brought up in the murder mystery level if you chose the victim as the culprit, but I'm taking serious subjects seriously. If you still want to play the trial despite that, but are uncomfortable with these topics, there are heavy skip options. Skips will come before a part that involves a heavy topic. Skips will come before a part that involves a heavy topic. We'll warn you about what it is, and we'll give you the option of going past it with a mini recap so you can follow along. You will be given the option to tackle them off or for a more seamless experience if you are not bothered by such subjects. Which I'm not. Well, yeah. Any questions? Why'd you kill Hat Kid? You know what? Sure, why'd you kill Hat Kid? That's not really relevant, but I guess I can go over that while I'm here. Do you really care about spoilers? Ew, spoilers, yeah, no. Yeah, we're not gonna do it then. No, I don't think we have any questions. We understand. Okay, good luck with the trial, and don't worry about trial 5 or 6 getting worse. This is the lowest point in the plot. It doesn't get more depressing or serious afterwards. Oh, it's good to know there's still another 2 to come. And every bit of support you give to those you care about helps. So do what you want with it. Do you want the heavy topic skips to be active or inactive? Inactive. There's a few scenes added before the trial to add some context. You should watch them before at least. Which scene would you like to watch? Scene 1. Scene 1 is starting up. Oh, we get proper scenes this time.
We're both due for a nice, relaxing shower.
You added voice acting? And you didn't tell me or get me involved? Dude!
I've been here a lot, boss. Something on your mind?
Well, we are imprisoned here, and that's stressing me out.
Fair. Oh.
No, we're not doing that. We will both be leaving this place alive, alright, darling? I know you want to get me out, but that's just not an option.
Even if the rules were different, like Rule 11, instead of the first killer being blackened, it was all killers?
Still not an option, darling. I don't want that on my conscience.
And that is why you're so cool.
Indeed he is. That's
Hey,
DJ
huge
Grooves.
problem.
Now what?
Was that minion there by the entrance the entire time?
I didn't even notice the subkin I was there. But why is the owl barging in here screaming his head off?
The biolab. It just blew up. Now it's full of smoke and fire and...
Alright. Penguins are in the back.
Grooves,
We heard you, darling. We'll steer clear of the lab.
Well, that's bad.
Thanks.
Well, I guess I should fix that.
Is he seriously heading towards the biolab?
I guess being the only minion of Snatcher here means he's also the only maintenance worker in the building.
Probably, actually. That's probably not a far off.
Do you think Snatcher said there were more traitors, just to ruffle our feathers?
I don't actually
I
know.
hope so, darling. I hope so.
Ooh. No wonder this particular trial was 2 gigabytes. If it's good voice acting, too. What happened to you, conductor?
Well, good hang. Hey, the biolab exploded. Steer clear of it, okay?
Yeah?
Oh boy, you look horrible. Nice to see you too, Peckneck. I'm gonna ask you again. I don't know anything about you freezing to death in my timeline.
Oh. Alright.
We've been over this. And I know you're full of crap! Aren't the sedatives helping you sleep at all?
Wait, so they've actually been discussing the timelines they come from.
I can't
Interesting.
keep taking pills every 20 minutes. That's not how that should work. Normally a nightmare wouldn't bug me, but something feels wrong, and it keeps getting worse. It means something. But it's just your gut saying that. I've barely slept in weeks. Look at me and tell me honestly that I'm fine.
Can't do that.
I wish I could help. Fine, get out of here and warn people about your fancy lab. I don't want you here.
Well. Don't know what to say about that. Poor conductor. What about scene 3?
All right, we're almost ready for lunch.
I'm guessing that's Cooking Cat.
Cooking cat, aren't omelets supposed to be breakfast food?
I can't tell who that is.
Is it for a special occasion?
That's the... Wow, where'd the sun go? That's the... Nomad.
Well, no, but I figured why not? Everyone's been really down lately, so I wanted to try spicing things up in a small way.
Understandable. Cooking Cat's nice. A morale booster? Well, you're not gonna complain.
All right, there's eggs in the fridge already, but I feel like we should have another plate of those Alpine eggs. You know? Is that safe? They're kind of explosive.
Yeah, actually they are.
It's safe if you know how to prepare it properly.
Fair enough. Even then, it's not gonna be a fatal wound on its own.
I'll be right back, okay? They're up a few floors, so I might be a bit.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait. Can we discuss what Snatcher said a week or so ago? That still bugs me.
You're certain he said that to get under everyone's skin and make them paranoid? Nobody that smart would willingly side with him. Okay, maybe if contracts are involved. Now that you think about it, that's probably the case.
Do you guys really think that's true? That someone here might backstab us? I don't really want to believe that, but...
But... about half the planet backstabbed you already. That's nothing new.
Oh.
Thinking on it, the skyline was the only place you can think of where the locals were all super friendly with you. Must be nice and kind of boring, living far away from that betrayal and conflict.
Well, there is the lazy paw gang.
I'm guessing that's the cats. True.
I don't get it though. Why do we have to fight in the first place? Can't we all just, I don't know, agree to disagree? Avoid conflict? Something less violent?
Oh, Nomad, you're so innocent. You think about a mafia saying you once heard. You don't remember the exact wording, but peace is boring and conflict is interesting was the basic idea.
In the book, I'd agree. But this isn't a book. I don't like feeling sad or scared.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, all that drama should stay in fiction where it belongs.
Poor Penelope. They seem bothered now because reality is harsh.
Calcite City used to be so much better. Mafia Town used to be called the City of Calcite and Adventure, before everything completely fell apart. It doesn't really roll off the tongue very well, does it? I just shortened it to Calcite City now.
Yeah, that's fair. What the heck is calcite?
Oh, it's the white rock used for most of the city's architecture. Bridges, buildings, roads. Any white rock in the city used to build it was calcite.
Huh. That's interesting. Editor's note. The city of Calcite and Adventure was Mafia Town's name in extremely early development stages. Ah! I mean, at least she's not wrong then.
I'm the only one in town standing up to the Mafia after they overthrew it.
That doesn't really excuse all of the murder, though.
Sometimes when peace doesn't work and things need to change, you're willing to live with it. That scum destroyed my hometown. I tried being nice with them, and I got punched down for it. Now it's my goal to remove them from this planet. Immediately.
Fair. Isn't that a little extreme? There are way worse mobsters out there.
Please tell me you're joking about that.
No, you wish you were.
I think we got sidetracked from the topic. Who do we think that other traitor is, besides that freak?
Good question. You're not really sure of who to suspect, since none of them seem likely to join Snatcher.
Well, that figures.
You kinda miss Hat Kid.
That trial was rigged. I should have voted for Snatcher's minion over her.
It was.
There's too much happening in such a short time. Don't blame yourself.
It actually was rigged, so... Why was the Subconite trying so hard to keep everyone separate lately?
I think he stopped doing it a couple days ago. I kinda feel really bad for him. Don't. He's trying to keep this game going.
Is he?
So withdrawn now, though.
He wasn't actually a bad guy. He was just forced to do bad
Don't
things.
let your guard down. He's probably planning something.
You don't really have any great conversation topics in mind. A lot of silence.
Got a deck of cards?
Several minutes later, near the end of an intense game of Old Maid. Of course you'd play Old Maid.
Alright, pick a card.
Who the heck has the ballerina? Come on, you're so close to winning. Mustache Girl picks one of Nomad's cards and lays down a pair of Baker's, the last of her cards.
Yes!
Dang it!
That took so much longer than I thought it would. Alright, my turn to...
Bo Kid only has one card left.
Aww.
He picks her last card and lays down the ballerina pair and is stuck with the Old Maid. Well, at least you got second, you guess.
Well, that killed some time.
Yeah, it did. The match lasted a good 10 minutes.
Shouldn't she have gotten back by now?
Who?
We should check on her.
Who?
Yeah.
They all get up to head for the biolab, but they run into the science owl. Oh yeah, You did not kill Cooking Cat!
Poof!
Ow! Sorry about that. Hey, you're usually in the biolab, right?
Yeah, but I wouldn't go in there right now.
What?
Why is that?
Well, it blew up while I was in it. I've been running around trying to tell everyone to steer clear of it.
Now we know why it exploded! Someone didn't prepare the eggs properly.
Did you see Cooking Cat yet?
No, she's the only one I need to tell since everyone else knows now. You're gonna tell me she went to the biolab, aren't you?
Yep. They all rush to the biolab.
What happened here?
door wasn't damaged before, just the back of the lab. What happened?
I'm going in first. Wait here a second.
We should go in one at a time in case it really is a murder.
Yeah, that's actually fair. You can't disagree with that. She went in first. I waited a little, then opened the door to see what was on the other side. The fog got through my clothes a bit. It stinks, but it's tolerable. But what I saw on the opposite side, I only half expected. You've done some really good work with this mod. I had a bad feeling she was dead, but him? I didn't expect him to be here too. Oh, God. Why was he here? Hanging from a noose? He didn't try to... Strangled? I hate both options. I hate this feeling.
A body has been discovered in the biolab!
Do I really want to go in that lab?
No. You better look for clues ASAP. The trial will be ready before long. Right, okay. I suppose it's time to start up the trial then. Wowzer. Alright, starting the trial. Oh, here's something you might be interested in knowing. Not everybody is into fan voices. If they bother you, you can set them to off by going into the pause menu, settings, audio settings. Another trial. Let's see how it goes. Some of the voices actually don't work. Some of the voices are okay, and some of them are, I don't mean to be offensive, but are not particularly good. But some are really good, and are better than I could do, so... Maybe I'm making an assumption, but you've heard of, watched, or played Danganronpa before, right? Or played through Trials 1, 2, or version 3? Actually, if you haven't yet, you probably should start there, because there's like 7 casualties in the first 3 trials, and some important plot points. You'd prefer to play spoiler-free, right? I can't stop you, but you've been warned. On to the part where 2 bodies were discovered, which usually never happens outside Trial 3. Ever. Thank you for breaking the rules. Here's how the incident played out as far as we know. Cooking Cat and Minion were found in the 4th floor lab area. Mustache Girl and the Nomad didn't handle it very great. The lab had been fogged up by purple/pink mist at the time. There's also Hat Kid's Adventures outside of court, which I recommend you look at since it's part of the plot, but is optional in case you already saw it. Also, there's cool new art. Want to see what she's up to? Of course! This is going to be a very long episode. In fact, it's probably going to be 2 episodes. What the hell is this? Did they grow up or something? The metro is surprisingly stable. You expected random freezing, all things considered.
I don't think I've ever been here before.
You were here before to pick up your Roombi. The Roombi factory isn't far from here.
There was a Roombi factory here at one point.
You're not sure if it's still active after the recall and the self-destructing problems occurred. Looks like your little robot was one of the lucky ones, but it was definitely nearby, considering the purple rift was in the metro.
Well, you learn something new every day. How did you even find this place? It's so far underground, you can't even see it on a map.
It's a good question. Your telescope pointed to it. Guess you got lucky, even if it took a while to find.
Is this place cut off from the outside world or something? I'd have never found it.
It's definitely not. Some of the ads are of Alpine Skyline and of your movies. There's also the cat spoiling Cooking Cat show.
You said Cooking Cat was in the Killing game, right? Oh, I hope she'll be okay.
Irony! There we go. What's he pointing at?
Oh, I finally caught up with you guys. Oh.
Are you a rabbit?
Wait, I thought she was in the Killing game thing.
Yeah, about that. I kinda died.
Well, okay. That explains that. So who's the killer this time?
No idea. I passed some smoke and came to in Mafia Town.
So don't you all want to die, then?
Yeah, he's got a point. How did you find us?
That's a very good question.
Timmy say anything?
You're fascinated by how chill Cooking Cat is about this entire situation.
Well, I was freaked out at first, but I got over it. I mean, dying and reviving is pretty normal. I was really worried I might not come back because of that weird wherever we were just at. But I guess I was worried for no reason.
I mean, that's fair. Looks like she got lucky that Mafia Town was cleared first.
That doesn't explain how you found us, though.
All I had to do was break into the ship, and the Mafia and the mailroom sent me on my way.
Fair.
We should consider security upgrades.
Meh, it's a first. Oh wait, that's how Mustache Girl stole your fuel to kill us all with. Maybe it's not a bad idea after all.
Hey, so, you know about the Metro?
What about it? She knows about the Metro?
Well, it's the biggest spot for food vendors on the planet. I'd hate to miss out on so much great food. I just wish the Metro was advertised a bit better. I saw a newspaper once that said the conductor's train was the only one in the world, but clearly that's not the case.
How do you work that out? Oh yeah, because there's trains in the Metro. Well, it kind of has crime syndicate problems, so maybe it's hidden from the rest of the world because of the shady happenings.
So does Mafia Town.
That's very fair.
While I'm on the subject, how did the boss of Mafia get his old body back?
What? Huh? Oh, Mafia Town wasn't cleared by Timmy until after he died, so he must have gotten rewritten, but which version are we dealing with?
I'm not sure I follow. Either way, he set sail around the time I got into Mafia Town.
To where? Why do you feel like everything is about to fall apart for all of the wrong reasons?
I'm not sure how that would go.
Translation?
Yakuza or Mafia? Who would win?
Nayakazu, because Empress. We've already proven this. Go back, I think, like maybe last episode, or maybe 2 ago. We've seen it, what would happen. Nyakuza. They're serious, swift, and lethal. Mafia are just jerks. Exactly!
It's best to stay clear of the Yakuza.
Yakuza, even.
If you get on their bad side.
Touch that little girl.
What's Timmy's face right now?
I don't want her getting away this time.
Who said that?
They'll try to kill us. It's the only thing I don't like about the Metro.
Fair. Now might be a good time to run.
Huh. Can't get much more conclusive than this.
I don't want her getting away this time. You know, I don't usually approve of another group of criminals trying to muscle in on my territory.
Okay, I do mean no offense, but the voice for Empress is god-awful. It's male, for a start.
I have no interest in stealing your territory. I'm after the little girl and her timepieces.
That's an interesting body.
Timepieces? And would those happen to look like hourglasses?
Do not pretend to be dumb. Everyone in the world knows what those are.
Probably at this point, honestly.
Perplexing. But we both have the same target, it seems, so I think we can make an arrangement.
We will agree to both get rid of the kid. We will both get our vengeance.
I can try.
Right.
Effective motive. She'll have to get to the elevator if she plans on escaping. We'll block it off so that she can't escape.
I will be very irritated if this goes wrong.
It wouldn't hurt to have a backup plan, since she evaded the entire Metro last time.
Is everyone around here part of the Yakuza?
Yes. It seems that way.
This is nuts! How are we supposed to escape from an angry mob on the scale of a city?
Meh, you've done it before.
Yeah, but where are we going to get backup from?
We had backup? Okay, Final Fantasy 1 White Mage and Slender Man.
Ambush!
Wait, hold on. We're not Yakuza.
You're clearly a robot, though.
Yeah, we don't even have those weird face mask things.
That's fair. The man/boy/robot/whatever looks like they are wearing a mask, but you can tell the difference. But are they really trustworthy?
Really? They helped fund the metro itself.
Well, a lot of people contributed.
Yeah,
Right.
We contributed so many different things. I can't wait to take a cruise vacation on that SS literally can't sink.
It did sink. They'll be in for a world of disappointment.
Your help is appreciated, but you'll be in the line of fire if you're trying to help us.
Well, it's better than standing around here all day like a statue.
Very fair.
Can we join you? Please? We're bored here.
We're bored here. You have the feeling they're trustworthy.
Woohoo! Let's go save the world or something.
We're not doing
If
that.
any of you need a pick-me-up, you can have a balloon. They always lift my spirits.
Well, they're definitely not lacking in enthusiasm.
Yeah, that's certainly fair. Trial's about to start. Alright then. Who are these? No, we don't need who are these people. Actually, let's have who are these people. The characters are as follows. Hatkit, the ultimate acrobat. She's also the main character. She's not just the main character of this half of the story. She's just not the main character of this half of the story anymore. Bokid is the ultimate fashionista. Not secretly a crazy lady despite the tag. Core, he never really did a great job, did he? Then again, this isn't a movie set. Moon Penguin, ultimate bodyguard, always around DJ Grooves. Goofy Mafia is the ultimate conspiracy theorist. He's on the other side of the plot now. Mustache Girl is the ultimate vigilante. She's impulsive, headstrong, and likely to steer everything in the right direction or completely derail it. Her mood has improved considerably, though. Today isn't the best example of that, though. Science Owl is the ultimate scientist, returned from being stuck in beta, an alternate timeline, where, well, stuck's not the right word, but you get what I meant, is trying to make his own way out, though he's not doing an amazing job at it right now. The tourist is the ultimate photographer. His whereabouts in the colliding worlds is unknown, though it doesn't take long to assume he's on the moon since he keeps talking about it. The nomad is the ultimate mountain climber. They're a lot more talkative and friendly than most of the other characters. But why? The Subconite is the ultimate minion. They work for the Snatcher after signing a contract. He secretly betrayed the Snatcher and got Hatkid out of here. Why did this happen to him? The badge seller is the ultimate salesperson. Their knowledge of badge effects and selling so many could have helped solve so many more cases. Timmy is the ultimate cut content. He's apparently the main character to the B-plot of this weird story. The boss of the Mafia is the ultimate survivor. He is apparently in the metro going after Hatkid. Came back as the beta version. No wonder he's got tons of muscles instead of fat. The conductor is the ultimate drama king. I still love that. He would be in his element with this murder crap if the stress of the killing game, cryptic nightmares of beta, familial threats from Trial 2, and the fact that he could die at any moment wasn't as intense as it is. DJ Grooves is the ultimate celebrity. Seems likely to lend a hand, has a high reputation from his demeanor, has debated the idea of using an accomplice rule after his bodyguard suggested it, but always refuses to since he intends for both of them to survive. Cooking Cat is the ultimate cook. She apparently died, revived in Mafia Tar, broke into Hatkid's ship to ask where she is, to meet up with, and went to the metro within the 1DR investigation phase. All things considered, there are weirder things to happen. Weirder things than that in this game. The Snatcher is the ultimate attorney, only a small step away from being Ace Attorney. He acts as the judge since he kind of set up this whole thing, and really isn't bothering to hide that. What he is hiding is what the heck is going on outside, which you now know is the apocalypse. It's just like real Danganronpa. At least you were told that before Trial 6. That covers everyone. Trial's about to start. Show me the evidence! What evidence would you like to look at? All of it! Bokid's account. Bokid was waiting in the kitchen with Mustache Girl and the Nomad for Cooking Cat so they could eat lunch as a group by Cat's request. The tragedy of Cooking Cat's death ruined everything. The BDA went off after Mustache Girl and the Nomad went inside the biolab and discovered the death inside. What evidence would you like to look at? Owl's account. The Owl was working on the new invention idea in the biolab using the spare tech in there since the building since the building we're in has no tech lab and the biolab's the closest he can get. He had to evacuate the biolab after something blew up and the fog began leaking. He went to warn everyone, but there are so many floors now with people moving around, so it took him forever to do it. He found and warned the Penguin, Minion, and DJ Grooves in the 3rd floor spa. He was too rushed to check the time. He was scared but alive. But the Minion was found dead in there. What evidence would you like to look at? The BDA went off after Nomad and Mustache Girl went inside, meaning that the Minion found it too, and yeah. Motive. Snatcher threatened to steal everyone's soul. It didn't do much. He revealed that there's much more than one traitor, so everyone's edged and more spiteful towards the Subconite. More options. Snatcher file. Snatcher file. Cooking Cat and the Subconite were found in the 4th floor biolab. The time of death was 12:32 p.m. Cause of death is unknown. Fuck you, Snatcher, you're useless. Rule 1, no leaving the building. Rule 2, some areas are off limits between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. Rule 3, you may only sleep in designated rooms like a dorm room. Sleeping anywhere else is a violation. Addendum, being drugged isn't the same thing. Do not bring this up again as evidence. It won't work. You can roam the building with minimal restrictions. Rule 5, no attacking the Snatcher. Rule 6, killing gets you black and avoid everyone knowing you did it to leave. Announcements are made when 3 other people find out. The culprit does not add to this counter. Number 7, survivors must attend the trials. Number 8, no breaking into locked rooms. Number 9, save some for everyone. Culprits can only kill 2 people or less. Rule 10, accomplices get nothing out of this, only the murderer. Number 11, in the event multiple murders occur, the only one that matters is the first killer, as there can only be one Blackened. The latter killers will essentially be pardoned. The only exception is killing the Blackened, as that person will become the new Blackened. More options. Biolab specimens. Strange plants prone to exploding were in the lab's giant test tube things. There were several other plant species that will haunt your nightmares too. The data in the lab seem to indicate that the plants are of a meat eater variety. There were also those discolored apples / cherries the dwellers can turn into bombs. Also the alpine pink / purple flowers. So much things that could explode. Thank you. Purple fog. A thick purple fog was covering the whole biolab. Thanks! Computer data. The data on the computer stated that the fog had no effects on humans, cats, strong effects on goats, and other species were untested. That's a small dosage, as concentrated dosages can be harmful to all. That means the fog came from the plants. The plants from the whatchamacallit. Yes, there's more. Noose! What the Minion was hanging from in the lab. It doesn't look damaged at all. Likely came from a supply closet in the lab. Yes, there's more. Minion's actions. The Minion was extremely intent on keeping the group separate from each other since around 2 weeks ago. This got on everyone's nerves pretty quick. His most recent action was checking on the disturbance in the biolab after it being informed of it. Retaliation. Most of the remaining survivors, except the Nomad and Cat, who aren't very aggressive, started to get fed up with the Subconite's crap and began retaliating. He kept trying for a while, despite that, until a couple of days ago. Eggs. There were large eggs in the biolab, meant for testing purposes. They can make a great omelette if cooked properly. Cooking Cat went to the lab to get them. Library book. Ooh. Titled The Forgotten Children. It shows how the Minions were spirits of the dead given physical bodies. Really now? Burn marks. There were a lot of explosions in the biolab. A lot. Thanks. Alright, let's do this. Ready? Great.
The drill. So, get on it.
What the hell is this down here? What are all these symbols? Why another double murder?
Seriously? What is wrong with you people? She's the only one out of all you idiots that was tolerable.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Okay, the Nomad too, even though they're boring. But still.
I'm not boring.
I I want to give praise to whoever's voicing the Nomad. You've done a very good job.
Why is the cause of death listed as unknown?
It's up to my discretion as to how to balance the trial. If I told you what killed them, it'd be too easy to figure it out.
I hate you.
Don't we all?
Okay. Do we know who died first? The new rule states that if 2 murders happen, only the first killer gets blackened.
True.
That would have been nice to know 2 weeks ago when 2 people died at once. So, where was everyone at 12:30 today? I was in the rec room at the time. I think that's when DJ Packneck showed up. It was a little bit after the owl warned me about the lab blowing up.
Fair.
Can I use the judicial system to make him stop calling me that? I'm sick of hearing it. Either way, my bodyguard was with me too.
Have you tried contracts yet?
Contracts? Really? You were with the Nomad and Mustache Girl in the kitchen, waiting for Cooking Cat to come back.
And I was running around trying to warn everyone about what happened in the biolab the entire time.
Seriously, what is with all this symbolism?
Wait a minute.
Everyone's beginning to suspect him. What? How does everyone here have a solid alibi?
Okay, don't panic. We'll just have to think about this a bit differently.
Okay.
Okay, how about the BDA? We went in one at a time, but only 2 of us activated it this time. Who else saw it?
Good question.
Seriously? Is this an accomplice thing? We need 3 people for a BDA.
That's very true. You doubt it's an accomplice thing.
If all of us have solid alibis for where we were at the time, then the death was,
What?
I have 2 theories. 1, the killer was one of the 2 victims. Or 2, it was a trap, possibly remote activated.
Fair.
Like a C4?
Like a C4. What the heck is C4?
It's like modeling clay, but it blows up.
Like a lot of things that have been described during this trial. You want it because it sounds cool.
Something like that could definitely kill someone after being planted on them, or in specific locations.
Fair. You remember this is a killing game and you don't want the exploding clay anymore.
I don't think remote-activated bombs are the case. I don't think the gift shop has anything like that. Anyone able to confirm it?
There weren't. No, that'd be too easy.
Again, credit to the person doing the Snatcher voice.
Well, the second theory isn't completely sunk yet. We still don't know the cause of death, and death traps aren't impossible to make. All that needed to be done was lure a victim to the trap.
Yeah?
Are any of us capable of doing that?
Oh, he's got a little, you know, message symbol on his death.
And wouldn't death traps, you know, leave behind a bunch of evidence?
Very true. Do you like the background, or at least the game it's from? Last try, the music changed from Danganronpa's to another game soundtrack at the halfway point, but this time I'll let you choose the soundtrack from the beginning. Would you like the full Danganronpa, full or a mix when I deem appropriate? Mix of both. Mix of both. Hopefully, it's the best of both worlds. Ooh, I have missed this game so much. Alright.
Could have set up a trap and lured them to it.
Yep.
That could have happened in any room. So why the biolab?
Good question.
There's not a whole lot of people going in and out of it, so that'd give them plenty of setup time.
That's true. What kind of death trap are we talking about here?
Easy to figure that out if the file told us what the cause of death was.
Yep.
If something was rigged in the lab, then it almost got me. I barely got out of there before the smoke hit me.
How didn't we hear it from the first floor, though? Is everything in the building soundproof?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's very true.
Someone good with technology would be suited to rig the machines in there.
Yep. And who might that be? I need to do this. Good with technology. Darling, where do I even begin? Oh, for the love of... let's see. Smoke would come from the purple fog. What do you yelling at me for? I know what I'm talking about. Over the lord them with eggs. Yes.
In the court. No, she wasn't lured into the trap. She went off to get the giant eggs that are stored there.
Yep.
Despite the explosive aftertaste, it was a darn good omelet.
Did you have to say that so quietly? You couldn't quite hear what she said.
So she wasn't lured into the lab.
If anything, I would have been the target since I've been going in there ever since it opened.
That's very fair. He has a point. He's been frequenting the lab since it opened, and once it blew up, he immediately warned us not to go in there. Unless... No, he warned the conductor when he was alone. He probably would have done the same to Cooking Cat. It's not likely he led her into the trap.
The only way Theory 2 is plausible is if it was rigged and set to blow up on a timer. But you'd have to be tech-savvy and spend some time figuring it out.
Yep, you're just incriminating yourself even more.
By that logic, it could be anyone. Well, maybe not the Nomad. I'm not sure if the Alps has phones or radios or technology in general.
That's fair.
Well, I didn't really see anyone come into the lab much since it opened. Usually just to grab something from the supply closet or to chat.
You're very surprised he hasn't been assaulted yet, considering being alone is a death sentence here, and he's done it so many times now.
Well, there is someone that's frequently in the lab, long enough to set up a trap.
Finally, you bring it up.
You mean me, right? But I tried warning everyone to steer clear of it.
Perhaps, but these emotionally manipulative ploys have been used twice now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have, yes. So tell me this then. There's two bodies. Why is the minion dead too? He wasn't separate from everyone else.
Very true.
Good point.
What the peck is the point of a double murder anyway? Killing more people just adds more evidence. It's stupid to do that.
He's actually a very fair point there.
Perhaps one was a silenced witness to the demise of the other.
Maybe. One was silenced after seeing the murder her. I have a nasty suspicion against that theory. Not there in person?
Need to be there in person to silence the witness.
Yeah, actually.
And what good would an eyewitness report do in the case of a remote trap anyway?
Yeah?
That's right. If it wasn't done in person, and nobody had any way of making a remote activated bomb...
Yeah.
Canoes, quit getting in me way! Hold up a moment, you pecknecks. It's not impossible for one of you to have done it remotely.
Oh, yeah?
Mind elaborating, darling?
With pleasure.
What kind of game is going on now?
So, assuming that someone made their own bomb to murder someone?
Yep.
It's not impossible. Yes, it's not likely either, but it's far from impossible. They just have to make it in secret in their own room after taking some tools and parts from the lab. Maybe even stuff from other parts of the building were taken and used. Because this isn't that hard to find here if you know where to look.
Fair point. By the way, spelling error for there. I just figured as you love your mod, and I love playing it, you might want to point out these things. And it's why I love playing it the day you tell me it comes out. Computer data. Does the data help counter my argument? Why did I think it would? Alright.
That's a valid argument. Continue.
Yep.
I'd like to hear how you prove this.
That's
He
fair.
said himself that others have gone into the lab for things in the closet, yes?
Yeah.
It's a
Yep.
possibility we can't deny.
Yep.
Definitely true, darling. But I don't think we can call it certain.
I don't either.
So far, it sounds like another theory being thrown out there to see if it sticks.
I agree.
Well, the owl doesn't really work as the suspect anymore. Surviving that incident and having that solid of an alibi means it was likely someone else.
Right.
They could have rigged up something to make that plan work.
Okay. Something's not adding up. Can you say that all again, darling? I need you to...
It's that plan work.
Right. Owl's account. I don't think that's true.
Finally beat you again, darling. And that is exactly why the argument doesn't work. The plan failed. It doesn't matter who attempted the murder, because they failed miserably at killing their own target.
Again, misspelling again. E goes before the I in that situation. That's fair. It's fair.
And nothing that was borrowed would have been good at killing anyone. Not unless you can figure out how to make a homemade bomb with water bottles, because that's all anyone else ever took from it.
You probably could,
I'm not
actually.
walking down 3 floors just to get a glass of water.
Fair.
You
Fair.
have a very good point. If the plan had failed, then whoever made the explosive doesn't really matter, since that doesn't absolutely mean they're the killer.
Hello, Junko. It's nice to see you in the back there.
Actually, that means all the alibis are solid as rocks again. If there was only one set of explosives rigged to blow by a detonator, then that means...
The culprit had to be there in person, which we already established.
Yep.
Let's ask this as frankly as possible. If you saw smoke coming out of the door, would you really want to risk going in?
The explosion
No.
happened at the lab's far end. I don't know why the door was so damaged.
That's
Well,
very fair.
It still doesn't change anything. The gas wouldn't have been concentrated enough to hurt her, so she could still get away.
Okay, now we need another new angle to look at this from.
Okay. This has been going pretty much nowhere for a while now. Maybe you should address what should probably be the most obvious answer that doesn't involve murder. The eggs explode! Everyone's
You
silent.
guys already know that?
Didn't
No, I did not. Why, that is horrible. Ah!
No, I did not. That is horrible!
That's, you do know where baby birds come from, right?
This is picked up.
If it makes you feel less disturbed, it's actually not a bird egg. It's a shroom egg, which is vegan.
Okay.
How does that make it any better? It's still eggs! Shrooms are plants from Subcon Forest. Not sure why they're in eggs now, though.
Very fair. Editor's note. Shroms are the turnip-looking subconite enemies that run towards you and blow up if you get too close. The enemy was reworked into eggs from the the enemy was reworked into eggs from the birdhouse that do the exact same thing. The turnip model is still inside the eggs if you use the camera badge to peek at them. Really? I feel I need to go do that after this.
That still ain't right.
You have so many questions right now, and most of them are about the fine lines of cannibalism.
I don't think that's how that works. I'm pretty sure it's vegan eggs.
So, the explosion was caused by shrooms. Actually, yeah, that's actually very possible. There were non-egg ones in some of the tubes, so maybe one became active after a certain point.
Fair. How was that so flapping hard to figure out?
I guess you just expect everything to be a part of someone's murder scheme anymore.
Yeah, honestly, that's fair. So...
I want to trust you all, but...
Are there really more traitors besides the minion?
Oh, for God's sake.
Had a traitor and someone caught them having a secret conversation with the minion, and then they killed both of them?
Absolutely not! You really think Cooking Cat, of all people, would ever cooperate with Snatcher?
Honestly, no.
Didn't she? Did she? I'm not telling you. Figure it out yourselves.
Shut up, you!
You little...
You should get everything back on track. So the explosion was most likely a plant monster-induced accident that nearly killed the owl. Cooking Cat would likely not have gone into that situation implying murder. But everyone has an alibi implying no murder. So which is it? I still think the Subconite did it. We need to figure out whether or not this is an accident or a
Snatcher
murder.
likely would make an accident into a trial if he felt like it. So I think it's possible. But nobody here went to the biolab.
If
Not
nobody
true.
here went to the biolab, then that means it was an accident.
But why did she go in? Surely the eggs weren't that important. How are the eggs the cause of death?
No. Did the area just change? What's going on?
Those are the 2 biggest candidates.
Right.
But there were a lot of other plants in there. Maybe one of the plants got them.
There are a lot of options, dang it. Why'd the Snatcher conceal the important info? One of these sounds plausible. So who should I try? But who should I try supporting? Nobody here? What evidence will you use? Minions' actions. Yes! Finally!
Thanks.
That's true. Nobody that's currently here went to the biolab, but there is someone who went there besides Cooking Cat.
Yep.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Who do you think? We may not know how Cooking Cat died yet, but we definitely know that he was there.
But he's been murdered too. If he did kill Cooking Cat, or even vice versa.
That's allowed, and you know it.
Then that would mean that either of them could be blackened, but either died at the end anyway.
Oh, so this is what the game is now. Figuring out the murderer from the two dead victims in order to make sure nobody else dies, right?
You did notice the noose, right?
A rope would work as a weapon for strangulation.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so too, but that's not it. Wanna know why?
Why? Why was the rope not a murder weapon? The rope is undamaged.
The rope was undamaged.
Yep.
Rope is pretty sturdy, darling. It wouldn't be a very good rope otherwise.
I'm pretty sure choking the life out of someone would still fray the rope, at least. Guess what? It didn't look like it was used to strangle someone. Trust me, I've earned a lot of mafia ties doing that.
Darling, you need to learn how to chill out. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, indeed.
Would imply suicide.
You think the traitor committed suicide? After all the crap they've helped Snatcher put us through?
Huh. Look at Snatcher. That expression. You think Mustache Girl called it? The Subconite actually killed himself? Now might be a good time to see what's happening in the metro with the others before things get too heavy.
Coming through.
This is a fucking RPG!
No thanks.
Time to show off! I should do that more often. Strong.
I called it! I called it! They're a bloody Final Fantasy 1 character! They're a JRPG character! Yay! I love...
What the heck was that? Luck is the most useless stat in the game.
That is a lie and you know it.
I don't want to get benched already.
Okay, in all seriousness, we're about to hit the heavy part of the trial. So, be ready for it, okay? So yeah, everyone, this is the part I'll skip, and probably in that big black text, I'll probably place where to skip to when it ends.
Killed himself?
You're feeling bad for him, aren't you? I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel about this. On one hand, he's helping Snatcher make us suffer, but on the other hand, suicide.
I'm not gonna say a word.
Honestly, it's hard to feel bad for him after everything he did to us. He didn't even tell us who the other traitors are. All he did was stay silent. Then he had the nerve to get in our way of trying to cope by separating us and making us easier to kill.
Yeah. It didn't tell us. It implied he knew and couldn't say, right? Was he with us? Snatcher, he did something, didn't he? Or...
It just feels so wrong.
Was it because he was... We ganged up on him. It's our fault, isn't it?
You're all seriously feeling pity for that traitor? You all know he's evil, right?
It can't be that black and white. If he intended to make us suffer, then why did this happen? Lovely choice of music. Lovely choice of music.
The little jerk is gone for good. Now the world is a little less awful.
We can breathe easier, knowing the punk won't interfere with our lives anymore.
I'm not sure. Snatcher's still here.
And I'm not leaving anytime soon.
But why would he commit suicide if things were going well for the Snatcher's plans?
He never left us alone, constantly getting in our way and inserting himself where he didn't belong. He was a very bad person.
Agreed. I was getting sick of him. It was only a matter of time before he tried killing someone.
I'm not entirely sure he would have any more.
That doesn't really answer the question. Why? Why did this happen? I'm gonna go with never left us alone. Motive? Why did this happen? Nope. Tried killing someone. Retaliation. Nope. I love the artwork, by the way.
No, he did start leaving us alone. A couple days ago, he just stopped.
Actually, yes. Yes, he did.
Hey, you two saw him earlier in the spa when the owl warned you about the lab, right? How was he?
Unsettlingly quiet.
I think he just sat on one of the benches near the entrance. He didn't really say anything, though.
Actually, he was in the spa a lot recently.
I think he wasn't. Maybe.
You really think he wasn't a scumbag deep down? Trust me, some people just stink and aren't redeemable.
No.
Is Snatcher redeemable just because old poor Prince Charming got cursed, so it's not his fault he's murdering hundreds of people for entertainment?
Ouch.
Please, tell me you don't actually believe this crap, because if you do, I want to know who hurt you and needs beaten.
Hey, I can be quite charming despite my curse.
Go to heck!
She got a valid point, that some people just aren't good, but I feel like I know better.
Seriously though, I hope none of you actually think that thing is redeemable just because of a tragic backstory. An explanation for his behavior is not an excuse for it.
I mean, not wrong, I guess. That advice would sound a lot more solid if it wasn't coming from murderous vigilante girl, especially because of how she's trying to make what just happened not seem as horrible as it is.
How many times do I have to say I'm sorry about that? Is it really so hard to believe that I might have learned from it?
Given what you've been saying, technically, yes.
So, if he committed suicide, what does this mean?
I guess that would make it hard to tell exactly what happened, but wouldn't surprise me if this was a ploy by Snatcher.
What do you mean? He did something like that just to make our lives harder because he was ordered to?
Honestly.
Would it be that surprising at this point?
Not really. I know in her mind the Subconite looks evil in so many ways, and Cooking Cat's death is boiling her blood, even if she doesn't realize it. But she's not really making herself look good right now.
That piece of trash isn't redeemable. He helped keep us locked in here.
He also tried separating us multiple times to make us easier to kill.
Shut up, you.
Like I'd ever split up from DJ Grooves in a situation like this. You gotta stick close to who you trust.
Yep.
I didn't trust the peckneck one bit. He was obviously horrible since day one.
And you're any better after trying to smear the little girl against the studio basement floor? I can't think of one good thing to say about you.
You guys didn't really get to know him, though.
That's true.
And what if they were just acting the whole time? He's trying to manipulate the situation, so it wouldn't surprise me if he tried manipulating you through your emotions.
Regardless of that, he's dead, and we still need to figure out if it was a well-prepared murder with a suicide disguise or an actual suicide.
Hey, I was gonna bring that idea up. Well, whatever. Anyone else think the suicide was disguised?
More options. Let's see. What's the next stage? Motive, minions, actions, library book, noose. Why is the library book there? What's evidence say? What evidence would you like to look at? What about the book? Minions' actions does not describe... No? Okay. He's dead with a library book. Yeah.
Wait, that can't.
He died twice? He was already... Wait. He's an upset spirit. How did he die twice? How does a ghost die?
Are we really sure the subconnect even really died?
That's what I'm asking.
Well, he was a ghost given a physical body, right?
Yeah. The Forgotten Children did make that apparent, yes. So they're implying that the destruction of the physical body wouldn't kill them? Dwellers do tend to return after blowing up in those pink fruit things.
Well, the Snatcher file said both of them died. It did, right?
Cooking Cat and Subconite were both found in the 4th floor biolab. The time of death was 12:32 p.m. Cause of death is unknown.
That's a little too vague. They were found there is all it says. That doesn't mean they died there. Or that both died there.
So that means it'd be possible. Actually, wait. If that's the case, then why isn't he in a stand?
That was talked about in one of the rules.
Yep. Which one was it? Rule 8, I think? That's the wrong rule. Rule 7?
Rule 7. Right. All survivors must be present in the courtroom. But I think that just further proves it.
Oh, yeah?
How? You have to look up to notice.
Look up the notice.
How long has this thing been hanging there?
Huh. Probably since we stepped foot in here.
Okay, great. But how do we... Did that one over there just move?
Yeah.
Snatcher. That's him, isn't it?
You want me to get him down for you?
Yes or no? Stop evading the question.
Yeah, it's him.
Why did you bring him down here?
You really think I'm letting a servant of mine die just like that? No! His contract is far from expired.
Fair.
I want to settle with this deal with the devil stuff as a brick to the faces.
That wording doesn't really cut it. But he's saying... Saying he's a subtle as mustache girl herself might annoy her.
Get him down from there.
Not like that.
The Alpine Nomad checks on the minion swiftly.
Hey, wake up.
The minion isn't responding. Unless you count random twitching as a response.
Come on, you've got to wake up. You're the only one who knows what happened.
He is out cold. Shaking him and screaming isn't helping.
So, now we know he was alive the whole time? That makes him the only suspect with no alibi? Since he was there and didn't die? It wouldn't surprise me if this was just another convoluted scheme from Snatcher.
Honestly, it wouldn't
What do
actually.
you mean?
It's been weeks since the last trial happened, and I bet Snatcher was itching to see us die after so long. What if that explosion was his doing to create a murder mystery and the plan failed? So he sent his little lackey to make it work.
It's not impossible, but I doubt that. No, I know it's not right.
Oh yeah? How?
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
I can kind of see both sides, but...
Prove it!
Could you both calm down a bit?
Right, okay. Just like in the previous trial, the upcoming mass debate panic has camera movements that may cause everything to be laggy. They've just been activated, so it's noticeable so you know beforehand. Turn off the camera movements? No! Bloody keep them on! We're having the full experience here! It's not laggy in the slightest. If it's laggy on my computer, there's something wrong with the mod.
I was in the
just
biolab when it blew up.
Snatcher
Maybe
said-
something that was in there might be a
The
clue,
Snatcher had sent
but
him there to kill.
I'm not
You'd
sure
have
what to
have
focus
planned
on.
this out in advance.
Was there something that was there that wasn't before?
Okay.
Maybe
Snatcher's
something went
crafty like
missing.
that. He must have caused the explosion
Something
at
out
a
of
specific
place?
time.
Peck, I'm drawing a
Why
blank.
I don't know what it.
Come on, now's
what-
not the time to freak out.
It's
So
weird.
the minion knew when to strike and immediately left.
He did not
Because
immediately
of
left.
that, Cooking Cat died.
Was there more? Was there more than one explosion? There are so many things wrong. I don't know where to start. What should I address? There wasn't that before. Something went missing. What evidence will you use? Biolab specimens. Great job, but you're not quite done yet.
Snatcher sent his little errand boy to cause a mess.
The Snatcher had sent him there to kill. You'd have to have planned this out in advance.
Yep.
Things actually,
Wouldn't surprise me if they did. Snatcher's crafty like that.
Yep.
He must have
The burn marks were
caused
definitely
explosion
odd
at a
considering
specific
how
time.
many there were. They were just all over the walls and floor.
See what I mean? It's
So the minion knew when to strike and immediately left. And because of that, Cooking Cat died.
The lab being in the condition it's was there only one? Only one, more than one explosion, and burn marks. Great job, but you're not done quite yet. Okay, no wonder this one's actually got a huge time
The
trial
Snatcher had
attached to
sent him
it.
there to kill. You'd have to have planned this out in advance.
Yep.
Wouldn't surprise me if they did. Snatcher's crafty like that.
He is.
Must have caused the explosion at a specific time.
Why would he?
So the minion knew when to strike and immediately left. And because of that, Cooking Cat died.
Oh yeah? Right. There wasn't that before. I honestly don't think he left immediately. He left after he was told. Wasn't he? Yeah. I did it first time on each one! Ha ha ha! No guessing!
So, we're assuming he went there and waited for someone to show up and to get ambushed, despite all the distrust everyone had for him, which would make everyone steer clear of him.
Yep.
He could have been waiting the whole time in the fog-filled lab to jump her.
Yeah, but...
Maybe, but that would leave a few things unanswered.
Oh yeah?
Firstly, those burn marks. There's too many burn marks on the wall and ground to not be odd.
Very fair.
Second, where did all the lab specimens go? There were a lot of broken tubes in the lab. Don't tell me they all magically vanished.
Doubtful.
Third, if this was meant to be confusing and convoluted as a part of a scheme, why isn't the rope not more damaged? Why did the subconite go and wait for the plan to start? Or rather, the explosion on the 3rd floor in a room with other people instead of the 4th floor to ambush the owl in case it failed. Clearly, he didn't do that.
He did not!
And why didn't Snatcher send someone less conspicuous to do this?
That's a lot that isn't adding up.
There's also a lot of BDA, which we have never figured out. He could very easily be the unidentified witness.
I assumed that from the beginning.
That makes too much sense. Something's not adding up here.
Dawn, I don't know how to argue against that.
You bet you don't.
Can we really believe that thing is innocent in all this?
I assume so.
I think we can.
What is this down here, by the way?
How? If he didn't murder her, then she died from the smoke?
No.
That still makes no sense.
She couldn't have died from the smoke. It doesn't affect cats. The fog was made by those flowers from home, the same ones that sent the goats into a frenzy. Could it have sent her into a frenzy too? Isn't there anything that might prove otherwise? Yeah. The computer data. Computer data did say that humans and cats were unaffected by small amounts of fog, but it definitely didn't affect me or my neighbor. It's just the goats. That means that's not an option. What other options are they that it wasn't the plant's fault? If it wasn't the fog, any of us or the minion, who do you vote for?
If the cause of death wasn't one of you, like an accident or suicide, you vote for the person themselves. That clear?
Okay.
I don't like the idea of guessing randomly. If we're wrong, we die.
Let's not
Yep.
risk it. Not until voting time is forced. How long do we have?
You've got a little bit yet, but not much longer.
Fair.
Hey, you were in the biolab the longest. Was there anything in there that might tell us what happened? Why were there burn marks everywhere?
That's a good
Well,
question.
I ran out immediately, so I'm not sure.
Alright. What's with the snow? Why did it just start snowing?
There were a few explosives in the lab. We already discussed that.
Yep.
But any of them could have screwed up the lab after I left.
The only explosives were Shroms. You think the Shroms are to blame?
No, they don't believe.
Eggs too. Did you forget?
Maybe a chain reaction from the computers.
Okay, it's unlikely, but you should throw it out there anyway. What if it was the minions doing?
I don't see him doing that unless minions have magical powers.
Don't they? They do not. Okay, they do not. I don't think it was any of them. It can't be. Could it be the shrooms? It can't be the eggs, because the eggs leave yolk behind when they explode. Okay, so what were the other options? Computers and minions doing. The computer data. Okay, no. Okay. I will figure this out. The shrooms are to blame. I don't think it's the minions doing because of the class trial rules. The evidence is not really helping. God damn it. Okay. The shrooms are not affected because of... There's only so many combinations it could be. You know, admittedly, this is the one thing I can admit I enjoy about the mod version, and that is I can I can brute force trial and error this until I get the right answer, because I'm completely lost. Snatchers doing and the biocitizens. Biocitizens? Biospecimens.
Better than just the alpine flowers and shrubs?
Yes, I believe they were.
Yeah, there were. I assumed the fog and explosions got to them since they weren't there when we re-entered the lab.
But...
It might be the answer.
Okay.
How? If they hadn't died, they'd be all over the lab. Someone would have to purposefully kill them after Cooking Cat died if they did. But who'd be crazy enough to fight those things? Those plants are walking nightmares.
Alright. The reason they died, it might have been... the nightmare creatures? The cherries and... the apples and cherries. Flowers. Flowers. Maybe? I don't think the plants were affected by the fog very much, honestly. At least not lethally. The nightmare creatures, then. Unless the plant monsters killed each other, or were bombs. Okay, fine. The cherries and apples, then.
They were exterminated by the apples.
Huh?
No, the apples don't explode.
Yes, they do.
Also, I'm
technically
pretty sure they're cherries.
It's a pink fruit that goes boom. They can explode if a dweller possesses them. Oh wait, there was a dweller in there. The Snatcher's minion is a dweller within a body.
You think he ejected his soul from his body just to kill whatever was inside?
That would make sense why he hanged himself.
Why would the traitor, of all people, do that?
I intend to find out.
This is getting a bit confusing. Let me try getting this straight.
That's fair. Let's try putting every event in the order that we know who did it. The events are as follows. Minion kills the plant, lab explodes, cat's body is found, Cooking Cat dies, BDA goes off, Owl warns everyone. What happened first? Lab explodes. Next. Owl warns everyone. Next. Cooking Cat dies. Minion kills the plants. Cat body found. BDA goes off. I love the fact the fact I'm intelligent. Here's exactly what happened.
Okay, so the owl was in the lab
minding his own business when a strong thing blew up the lab and screwed everything up.
Yep.
After that, he ran away, warning everyone to keep away from it so we wouldn't die.
Yep.
That's correct.
Cooking Cat went there without knowing because she needed shroom eggs.
Yep.
What were you gonna do with those eggs anyway?
Not now, Penguin. So, she went into the lab and had gotten killed in a way that we haven't identified yet.
Yep. Try as you all might, it's still a mystery.
So then the minion went off to the biolab next because of being warned about it by the owl and didn't have anything to do with the death.
Yep.
The evidence doesn't really prove it, but there's so much pointing to his innocence that it's hard to argue against.
And he went on a plant killing spree
Yep.
before trying to hang himself and somehow not dying because he's undead.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we found the bodies and freaked out.
Yep.
Yeah. Then the killer. Is it actually any of us?
What is with those pictures right there? Is this like a JoJo cinematic appearance right now? That's what it seems like.
That sounds about right.
But why?
We'll have to interrogate him to find out.
I'll handle it, okay?
You?
Okay.
The goody two-shoes? Unless you bring someone who can get more aggressive. I'm not getting my hopes up then.
Wow. I don't think I'll have to be aggressive.
Are you guys ready to vote yet?
We're ready. We just have to vote for Cooking Cat, since it was an accident, right?
It seems like it.
You're correct that it was indeed an accident, yes.
Yeah, I vote for Cooking Cat. It seems like an accident. Nice death picture.
Looks like you guys solved the case of Cooking Cat's death. You were right. The death was because of the plant monsters in the biolab, and nobody was blackened. You want the details since you couldn't figure all of it out?
Sure.
Yes? What happened?
This is probably going to be gruesome if he wants to tell you about it.
The shroom in one of those tubes had become active and blew up, which released all the other plants due to a chain reaction. The one explosion had a ripple effect. I was surprised that the owl hadn't bit the dust. So, the lab was full of every hostile plant that'd want to eat you alive you could possibly imagine.
Okay.
Some of them were 3 or 4 times as tall as me, and that's just the height. They were huge.
Fair.
The fog caught the little cat off guard. That recoil time from getting hit in the face with smoke, that was all they needed to swarm her. They knocked her out immediately and dragged her into their domain. Have their parents never taught them not to play with their food?
Again, wrong spelling for there.
What do you mean by play with their food?
You might want to up Mustache Girl's volume a little, honestly. She seems a little quiet.
Yeah, you know. Poke it, position it fancily, use it as bait, stuff like that. But, oh man, was that bone crunch loud. I bet it'd have hurt if she was awake.
Damn, Snatcher.
We don't want that level of detail.
You're sick.
What about the subconite?
He entered at just the right time to see her final moments of being eaten alive by a walking salad. Ironic how she died by getting eaten, isn't it? What he did? Now that surprised me. Yes, he did use his spirit to kill every last one of those things. I didn't even have to ask him to do it for me.
Right.
What did he do after that? At that point, all we know is that he...
I'm not sure why he did it. I thought it was to make things more complicated for you guys. After all, it's more fake evidence. But that doesn't really line up.
Huh, Snatcher's confused.
No execution this time?
Doesn't seem it.
All of the monsters were killed, and there's no blackened. There's nothing to execute. All right, everyone. Dismissed. And take my minion with you. I have to prepare the 5th floor, and I am not babysitting him while I get the next floor ready.
Fair enough. Okay, well. That means there's a bunch. So we still have a bunch of people. You are glad that the execution didn't happen. You partially expected for reasons. Cooking Cat is dead now. You really hope this court... You're missing a U on that. Courtroom crap ends soon. She was so nice to you and pretty much everyone here. The only solace is that her death was an accident and not because one of these jerks tried to pull a murder stunt. Who would try to hurt someone so sweet?
What do you want, kid?
Are you okay? You attempt to make friendly conversation with Penelope after what just happened.
I don't want your pity, kid. Out!
That went about as well as you expected. You try again anyway.
Did you not get the idea from out? I want to be alone right now.
Well, at the very least, you're going to get food from the fridge and cook something because you're hungry. You attempt to start cooking noodles, but the heat won't turn on.
What? Is the stove broken now? Oh, come on already!
Okay, how about some fruit? Just gotta wash off the fruit and the sink's broken too. What?
This place is seriously the biggest hole I've ever been in. And I've been in Mafia HQ.
Yep. She goes right up to the nearest camera.
Snatcher, the kitchen is broken!
I am in the middle of something here.
Right.
You doubt this is a normal malfunction, considering the stakes. You investigate. The pipes under the sink are not connected anymore.
Well, I doubt Rust is to blame for that. What about the stove?
You don't see anything wrong with the parts. Oh, there's not enough gas in it.
It wasn't like this earlier when we were playing Old Maid. When did this happen?
That's a good question.
Better watch your back. Gas fires are very hard to get rid of. You wouldn't want someone setting you on fire.
Yeah, that's fair. You thought those were grease fires.
That too. Fire is bad. Go figure.
Unless you're trying to cook, then it's kind of good. So, for as much as a huge jerk as she is, you can't help but feel bad for her, considering nobody really likes her and her closest friend here just died. And after seeing the purple rift about her, you can see why she got so screwed up. Should you tell her this? Yes. I want to see the story. You decide to open up about the purple rift.
Oh, so you know what I've been through now. And yet you're still treating me like I'm a stain.
I'm not. She makes it so hard to be nice to her now that she thinks you're all villains. It's like anything you try saying to her comes off as an attack.
Are you really trying to say that creepily stalking me and tracking my history is supposed to be a good thing?
It wasn't done on purpose. Can't she just shut up with everyone is evil crap for 5 seconds already? You're trying to patch things up between the two of you.
What's the catch, kid?
There isn't one. You're not supposed to be teaming up and going on adventure. You're not supposed to be teaming up and going on adventures and beating up Mafia. You do all of that. You do all of that all of the time now. But screwing up history to kill off all of the Mafia was going too far, since not all Mafia are jerks, just most of them.
Name one Mafia that wasn't a sod.
Let's see. There's the goofy one that died around Trial 3. The barkeep gave you a confidence boost, but there's a lot that just act like normal people and talk about TV or recent problems.
Problems they created for the island, mind you.
No disagreements there, but still, just because a lot of them are terrible doesn't mean all of them are terrible. The world's not as much of a dumpster fire as she seems to think it is.
Look, I'm not forgiving the Mafia for what they did to my home and my neighbors.
And that's understandable, but all of them?
None of the Mafia are good people. They do awful things just for the sake of it. They're all evil.
That's kind of race, you mean prejustified. That's absolutely, there's absolutely no way you're going to make her budge on that one. The pain caused by bad Mafia has already become ingrained into her and made it personal. You're trying to patch things up and you're failing miserably.
At least
tell me you're fine with killing Mafia.
Well, punching them off a boat into the freezing ocean is kind of satisfying, in a cruel, sadistic way. You should really stop doing that, even though it's super fun and tempting.
Now that I like. You tossed a Mafia overboard a ship in the middle of a freezing ocean. I bet he won't be coming back anytime soon.
Probably not. He came back on the ship a little later.
You're ruining it.
Your attempt to use her greatest interest as a starting point. Slaughtering criminals. And you know some place much worse than Mafia Town. The Metro.
What could possibly be worse than the Mafia?
Princess! Empress, sorry. The Yakuza. She better grab a chair if she wants to hear about real dangerous scumbags that have complete domination of the whole Metro to the point that everyone is part of her gang now. And that is a problem.
Okay, this I gotta hear.
The bonding, it works. Now what about Subconite and Nomad?
Is solitaire supposed to be fun? I'm not having fun.
Am I in heck yet?
Can you just say hell?
You're awake!
Why?
Hey, look me in the eyes right now.
No. Just leave me alone.
No way I am doing that now.
Alright.
You don't care.
Yes, I do care. I care about everyone here.
The longer this killing game goes on, the more you sound like a true Danganronpa protagonist.
That's good. That's good.
Is it because I'm a beacon of hope and emotional stability in a group of misfits? Because that's what I was trying for, so nobody would feel the need to hurt each other.
I didn't have the personality of a bag of hair.
Wow! She's trying to be nice.
Why does everyone keep implying I'm boring? Whatever. That's not the point.
The point is that you're trying to make friends with everyone while we waste away in here, delaying our inevitable deaths.
I mean...
Is that so wrong? To try to be the emotional support person for everyone?
The world will eat you alive. Life is unfair and painful. What did I do to deserve being frozen as a kid and dying?
That was Vanessa's fault, not yours. She shouldn't have done that.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And when I finally try doing the right thing, you just get hurt so much more.
But that tends to be the cost.
I tried doing the right thing, and guess what? We are still stuck here. People are getting killed for no good reason, and half of us are slaves to him.
So, there really are more traitors.
Not that those idiots know.
They don't?
They don't?
Stupid kids sign their lives away for some dumb challenge battles for clothes. Clothes.
Oh! I get it now. All of the bosses, like so Penelope, Mafia boss, DJ Grooves, and Conductor are all traitors, but they don't know they're traitors because they're not the ones that signed the contracts. The Hat Kid is.
Wait, slow down. I'm not...
Oh!
It won't matter. Nothing matters.
I want to address the core of the issue that made him try to, but how do I go about wording it?
So, about what happened in the biolab.
Oh yeah, I guess a trial happened.
Yep.
No, not Cooking Cat. I want to know about...
You want to try making me feel better because you pity me for wanting to.
Aww.
I'm not a therapist. This is the best I can do.
Why are we in the spa?
Well, it's the room you've been in most frequently recently. So, I thought it might make you feel less... sad.
I wish I hadn't met you.
That's rude.
Why? Why did you have to make me feel like that? If you just stayed away like a normal person, then I would have been content with my life.
What do you mean?
I have lived in servitude to the Snatcher in Subcon for so long now that I forgot what life was like before Vanessa flipped out and ruined her life. I got used to it. I thought I could live like that forever. And then you showed up and actually tried hanging out with me. You were literally the only one willing to do so, and now I'm stuck remembering that life used to not completely suck.
Wow.
I used to have friends, hobbies, freedom, a life. Now I'm a puppet with Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
Isn't that where you had positive feelings towards captors or oppressors?
Yes.
Should I really believe that he gives me other people's mail because he cares about me despite the cartoonishly evil villain thing?
You can't live like that. That's terrible.
I know.
But he doesn't have a choice.
So, it's my fault then that you've been so miserable lately.
Indirectly.
Yes, but it's more than that. I've been dealing with that realization, you abandoning me, everyone physically and verbally harassing me, my plans never working, us being stuck here, my soul not even belonging to me anymore. And then I saw someone die right in front of me, even though another casualty was what I intended to prevent.
Wow. Wait, is that why you were separating people?
Oh my god, you've been holding in a lot.
The two take a long time to sort out the emotional baggage.
Do you feel better now?
A little.
That's good to hear. What did you mean that your plans didn't work out?
Right, you think my plan before was killing Hat Kid, don't you?
Yeah?
I thought we were talking about the keeping everyone separated thing.
The minion looks around to see if anyone's spying on them.
Uh-oh. I said something bad, didn't I?
Okay, I need to get this out of my system. You good at keeping secrets?
Hit me with it. I won't tell anyone.
It's the least I can do. The minion whispers in the ear/hoodie thing.
Mustache girl, conductor, mafia boss, and grooves.
What about them?
She realizes.
You just name-dropped the traitors, didn't you?
The worst part is that they don't know. Again, someone else signed their lives away.
Yep.
Tried to keep him away from the others, but that penguin is glued to grooves, and the other two are so stubborn. If boss gets impatient and forces another trial to happen, he'll force control over them, and that penguin is screwed.
Wow. Warning him about grooves would just be asking for him to distrust you too.
There's more I have to say.
I'm listening.
The Nomad has been informed of all the major plot points the minion and the players know about at this point. What's going on outside, the traitors, and Trial 3's hidden betrayal.
I shouldn't have doubted you.
You were right that Trial 3 was rigged. I'm pretty sure doubting me would be the smart choice.
So
I mean,
I
yeah.
was right to have hope that she's still out there.
She is.
I'm not so sure anymore. I expected time being reversed before this ever even happened, and then boom, we're saved. Like it never happened. But nothing happened. At all.
It takes time!
Well, we don't know how this stuff works yet. Maybe it'll just take some time until it gets fixed. Maybe she's out fixing it right now.
Yes!
I want to believe that, and I did at first, but was I wrong?
You don't really believe she just abandoned us, right?
No.
Okay, what about Bo-Kid's timepiece that Snatcher still has? I doubt she'd leave it behind.
That is true.
Yeah.
If she's as selfish as you say, she'll be back for that. No doubt.
That makes sense, but what's taking her so long? Does she have died out there and stayed that way?
Did she die in collapsing rifts before and come back?
Yes.
Yeah, she did. Probably because of the timepiece.
See? If there's even a chance we can get through this, we have to take it. I mean, the alternative is live here forever as Snatcher's toys until he feels like breaking us in half.
That's not a great alternative. I need time to think about this.
You signed the contract to get your body, right? How do you make a contract null and void?
Why are you asking?
What would happen if those death wish contracts and your contract were burned in a fire?
It's a suicide mission.
It probably is, actually.
You already snagged the timepiece from your boss. How is this any different?
I mean,
I guess it isn't, but...
if I burn my contract, I lose my body and my ability to speak. Dwellers can't talk. On the other hand, freedom. He needs time to cope with this first. Maybe I'm going too fast.
I'll be around if you need someone to listen to you, okay?
Thanks. Just keep what I said in mind, okay? They don't realize they're bound by the contract, so being near them could kill you.
Yeah.
It's a great place for privacy. It has a lot of steam, which means there's no cameras in here.
Fair. There's no... He just noticed now that...
Water for him to handle. I bet the boss has no idea this conversation ever even happened.
Huh. How didn't I notice that sooner?
That's great news! We can have important conversations and plans here.
Isn't that just like the actual Danganronpa?
Oh, but Snatcher would get suspicious if everyone went in all at once, huh?
Yeah, so we have to plan the meeting without him knowing.
What about Spa Day?
12 noon, the day after tomorrow. Be here so we can talk.
I'll be there.
What's with the cards, by the way?
The cards?
Solitaire. It was supposed to pass the time while I waited for you to wake up so I could apologize.
The cards are gonna get soggy.
They're laminated.
Well, whatever. Pass me some cards. I need a huge pick-me-up right now.
Fair enough.
Can I ask why this whole murder-torture thing is modeled after Danganronpa?
Sure.
Boss, why is the fridge full of poison? I thought you wanted them to suffer for a long time.
Well, I guess it's better than being dead.
Sorry, but in the long run, it was better than everything being ready to kill us.
Wait, so the minion made it Danganronpa so that the Snatcher just didn't outright kill everyone immediately. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I might be able to get to that teleporter, get that teleporter working without Snatcher knowing if I work in here then, but I'd have to waterproof it. How do I waterproof a TV set?
Oh.
Oh!
Conductor.
Ray? What do you mean, Ray? Were you about to give him a name? Oh crap. Is he a traitor like Grooves? I couldn't hear what he whispered. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap.
I'm only gonna ask you this one more time, and I better hear the right answer.
Okay. I shouldn't have tried hiding this.
Do you really want to hear this? So you finally admit you knew. Took you long enough. I'm sorry, but I thought that it's just not a wound you reopen like that.
Yeah.
Intimidating you is much easier than I thought.
I'm not above blasting you if you lie to me.
No, it's just I've kept my beak shut about that for so long because it... What is that thing in your pocket? Oh, this is nothing. It looks like you have a pipe in there. It's none of your business.
I don't think I want to know where this would have gone if I had continued to stay silent. If I have to shoot, so be it. I guarantee I won't go down in one hit. You thought the DR2C inventory... You thought that the DR2C drive-through to Canada inventory during the entire trial was just for show, didn't you? Nope, he actually had a pipe bomb in his pockets during the court. Well...
We all agreed to never speak of the manor incident ever again. Ever. The manor incident? But I should have told you. I should have, once I saw it was causing damage. Hold on. What's the manor incident?
That's a good question.
Grab a seat. This will take a while.
Are we gonna go over beta timeline? Oh, come on! Ugh.
Beaten again.
So, we can leave now, right? It's cramped in here.
Yeah, let's get going already.
Not so fast. This thing is still loaded, and I don't accept defeat that easily.
She must be.
Must be what?
Made of iron.
You gotta find a better way of talking to Timmy.
So you won't let us through, no matter what.
That little girl had stolen my property, and I don't take kindly to betrayal. You have a lot of guts to come back here, child. Maybe I'd respect your guts if you hadn't crossed me.
Oh? Technically, she stole your timepieces first. Usually through her goons. If she wants her money back, she can keep it. You have no use for it.
Greetings, fellow users of the Metro.
What the hell is that? What the heck is a core agent doing here?
There is no delicate way of putting this. You, ma'am, are the owner of the totally not sketchy jewelry store, correct? If you are considering shooting me down, don't. You wouldn't want some of your totally not sketchy deeds being leaked to the authorities, right?
Right.
I'm blackmailing you, so shut up and put down the bazooka.
Empress looks at him thoroughly from where she currently is.
You have a phone in your pocket that's still on.
Correct. Take a guess as to what will happen if you shoot.
His backup will tell the cops. And my backup plan of destroying the elevator's cables while they're inside is no longer a viable option. I've been dealt checkmate. How agonizing.
A bitter taste of pure defeat.
That felt so good. I haven't been able to take down crime in so long. How about we make an arrangement?
I don't like where this is going.
Instead of trying to kill us, instead, you try to help us.
Okay.
You want to blackmail me into helping you.
Have you not noticed the strange rainbow colors and waviness yet? Something is happening that needs to be fixed.
Continuing with the cat crime would be pretty hard if the world gets completely messed up.
I suppose I don't have a choice anyway.
Excellent.
Wow, that was pretty impressive.
Who are these people?
What about him, though?
I'm not so sure we'd be able to convince him to help us.
Something to convince him to help. Maybe the island he lived on before Mafia Town?
I haven't been there in so long. I sometimes miss it.
The world is slowly being destroyed, so maybe if he wants both places to not be messed up, to not be all messed up forever, he should help you. He's not happy.
God, why do you have to be right?
That actually worked.
Alright, kid with the hat. I don't like this, but you have very valid points.
Yep.
But I want to settle this mafia style one more time when we're done.
Fair. He's still gonna lose, but sure. As long as we get this done.
That's a good point. Hat Kid, a word?
Okay.
Is it a good idea to bring these two on the ship? What if they steal one of your timepieces?
You definitely want to avoid a repeat of that. God knows you can't trust some of these ding-dongs.
Mafia Town is pretty much cleared. We could make that our new base for everyone to hang out at.
That's not a bad idea. You should all head over there to regroup if you can. Oh, but going back and forth might take forever,
Well, it doesn't
though.
take that long by boat.
Later at the hidden meeting room in Mafia HQ.
One of my mafia wants to have a word with you.
Oh yeah? You'd rather not be punched.
Hello, Space Child.
It's the Goofy one! Ah, okay, that's much less painful.
This is new base of operation for your adventures?
It's temporary until the truces with the mobster bosses ends.
Ah, right. Boss and scary cat lady hate you. Probably not trust them with shiny personal belongings.
Yep.
Mafia board now, there is no spaceman to sift through. Mafia will be around to talk.
Goofy Mafia joined the group.
What areas left to save, little child?
Let's see. Timmy dealt with Mafia Town, the Alps, and most of the ocean regions, which are bare in terms of major issues. You just got to get back from the metro, so that leaves us with Deadbird and Subcon.
Which one more of mess?
You can't exactly tell that from Mafia HQ. You'd have to see it firsthand.
That's a problem, being unfixable if too much time is wasted?
Yes and no. So long as we're doing something to try and fix it, the overall problem for the planet will lessen a little, and you get more time to fix it.
And if we fail?
Then we all get rewritten like the Mafia boss was, or die forever. Whatever the time-space continuum decides.
So that is why boss know about magic hourglass and has body back. Life sure is strange.
Yeah? Yeah? Looks like everything's starting to slow down and the characters have some room to breathe. Who would you like to see interacting? Oh dear Christ. Let's hope they aren't already in the middle of a gang war.
Looks like you are now in Mafia territory.
Okay.
This place is a dump.
Yes, but it is my dump. It would look less filthy if the hooded little girl stopped spraying paint on everything.
There's garbage on the street, the fountain is broken, your kitchen has a rat problem, half of the buildings are boarded up, and the plants are growing over the walls and through the concrete. And you chose to focus on low-level vandalism?
Yes.
It is very annoying trying to get the graffiti off the walls all the time. Either way, we Mafia have taken over the island very easily.
Yep.
You overthrew an island of peaceful villagers with no combat experience or training, with mere harassment. I'm so impressed.
And what's your grand achievement that you would have the nerve to get sarcastic with me?
Well, I did basically overrun the entire Metro's underground population, so that all of them work undercover for me while fronting as a common store owner.
Yes.
Your move.
Your move.
I have no way of topping that.
Checkmate.
But we both still under checkmate of the little girl with the hat.
I'm aware. It infuriates me.
Mafia Boss and Nakuza Empress have achieved C support. I'm pretty sure that's like a Fire Emblem reference. Let's see how the robot and its creator are feeling.
Alright, your inspection is done. No major issues. Or minor ones. I built things to last a long time. Hopefully the effort pays off for you and for my other robots.
Can you say something?
You're in perfect condition. I don't know what you're bothered about.
Okay, that's clearly how it communicates.
You're asking the wrong person about existential stuff like the souls of robots. I don't know if robots come back after dying or not. I mean, you'll probably be fine. I can always rebuild you if need be.
Janitor and Thor have achieved C support. I don't know how to react to that one. I don't know the characters well enough. It seems Core is troubled. I'm interested between...
fellow spacefaring child.
I'm interested between Core and Hatkid. Why does he insert fellow insert noun here?
It's just something we do. We never really questioned it before.
Well, he's not a spacefarer, or a kid.
It really isn't that big of an issue.
You suppose it isn't, but it can come off as odd or even seedly.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Did he need something?
I have an inquiry.
Oh? You're not telling him your vault password?
No, not that. you have traveled across the world, correct? Me and the other agents would like to try finding a bigger house to live in.
That reminds you of the reason the core agent got gassed.
Is something troubling you?
Best not bring that up right now. A bigger house to live in that's unused? Well, where does he live first of all?
Birdhouse. We live in one of the apartments there.
Oh, sheesh, yeah. There were core agents there sitting around the last time you visited. The Alps/desert is right next to Deadbird's train tracks, now that you think about it.
Any recommendations?
You have yet to find a place where all of those birds can live comfortably.
Darn. Worth asking.
Your turn to ask a question. How did he find the metro?
Can I plead the fifth?
No. No!
I was stalking your group after they showed up at the birdhouse. My gut and the weird, distorted world that gave me mild nausea and dizziness told me they knew what was going on.
I mean, that's fair. That's illegal, which you can call him out on or for hypocrisy if you want to look like a hypocrite yourself, considering you sank a ship and helped 2 different mobs. You decide to keep that to yourself.
Well, I suppose I'll be off then. Farewell, fellow space child.
What are the odds that he's the same one that died in the courtroom? Maybe your gut is wrong, but still. Are there any houses in Deadbird? Cor and the Cat Hat Kid have achieved C support. Who else is left to talk? There's more. The backers, Timmy and the Mafia Goof, and the Seal and Cooking Cat. Who are the backers? Looks like they're discussing video games. Take a guess as to which one.
What do you mean the game is T for teen? It's cute as heck.
I know, right? I thought for sure it was E10.
Okay, aside from that, have you tried the new challenge mode in chapters?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You don't sound too thrilled.
Not to sound ungrateful, considering I got it when it was free, but, those contracts get sawed off. And how about that cruise?
The cruise was super short. I was kind of shocked. The contracts and candles weren't too bad, though.
I mean, they're not wrong. The cruise was super short.
When did you play the mode? I played it immediately after it released.
I started a couple weeks ago.
That's why. The mode was patched a lot. Bosses and collapses had waiting timers for if you failed 3 times.
They don't anymore? Wait, what? They don't anymore?
Wait, why?
No idea. All it did was upset me that the game forced me to take a break.
Yeah! I agree with that! They patched that?
Well, at least it's better now. Ooh, I just had the best idea! Let's try it co-op!
Fair.
It's a single-player mode.
Not with some modification, it isn't.
Wouldn't that
ruin
the point of the challenge mode being a challenge?
Oh, come on! It'll be fun!
It does sound pretty fun.
It does sound pretty fun. Backer A and Backer B have achieved C support. So they're backers, are they? Well, okay then. That works for me. What about the YouTuber? Timmy and the Mafia Goof. Timmy is still as much of a silent protagonist as ever.
Must not remember you killing him, little boy. Probably for the best. Mafia referring to killing game. Why hide murder? The boy cannot speak? Right.
That's not a bad idea. He goes off to get paper and write it down. The paper reads, "I was panicked and wasn't thinking."
Little boy had plenty of time during trial to do something.
He writes on the opposite side, "Would you have fled too?"
The nerve. Mafia would never do that.
Oh yeah?
Mafia dislikes the look of intense judgment.
Mafia Goofed and Timmy have achieved C support. You know something's about to go horribly wrong if the seals do literally anything.
Yay! I'm helping. You burned down the entire kitchen preparing a glass of water.
Really? That's actually quite impressive. that it was only the kitchen.
I guess that's not a completely terrible thing, but now I don't have a stove to work with.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go get you some water. That'll make things better. I'm going to get some from the biggest faucets in the town.
Jeez. I guess I'm glad I
Wait.
wasn't in their kitchen. It must have been... Wait, what faucets were they referring to? Oh, no.
Cooking Cat and the Seal have achieved F- support. Roomby and Nakuza Cat. Well, this is an odd pair-up.
A functioning Roomby? I'm surprised. Most of them get scrapped or destroyed.
Why does the cat look so cool?
Whoever owned that factory didn't take very great care of it, last I heard. Broken pipes and leaking green gunk are always a bad sign. It's no wonder it closed down.
I mean, that's fair.
This is the part where you say something.
It's a Roomba.
Silent type? That's fine.
It can't say anything.
Well, now this is awkward.
Roomby and Nakuza Cat have achieved C support. And that's everyone. Well, let's see what happens next. Alright, let's end the level. Now it's time for your rewards for not failing the challenges / doing them at all. But first, credits! It took a lot of pecking people to make this possible, so let's give them recognition for it. Thanks to Gubsbon, Saint Popper, Wolf Clock, and Mr. Pinball 64 for beta testing the level. Well done, guys! Well done! I wanted feedback on the plot of this trial, for pretty obvious reasons, alongside the bug and error reports, so feedback was appreciated. Then I hope I've shown you a couple of the spelling mistakes. Credit to BitB, Conductor, Snatcher, and Science Owl, Macalabo, Crow, Classy Times, Groove, Dr. Tree Frog, Minion and Empress, X-Wasp, Penguin, Mafia Goof, Nakuza Cat, Wolf Clock, Baka A and Janko, Monica Ward, Penelope, Nomad, Baka B, Seal, Cooking Cat, Matt Barr as Thor, Tom Patricia as the Mafia Boss for lending their voices to the project. Well done, guys! Well done, guys. I know I feel bad about saying some of you weren't as good as you could have been, but honestly, we've got the original game to work with the voices from, and it's very hard for people to imitate proper voices. So the voices you've done are still good. Like, who was, Snatcher. Yeah. Okay, Bit B, you're amazing. Conductor, Science Owl, and Snatcher voices were just amazing. I loved the Crow voice. Groove's voice was a little deep in my opinion, but I think he's like a few notes higher for his average pitch. Minion was good. Empress was male. It sounded male. I apologize if you're not. X-Wasp, the Penguin was... Penguin doesn't have a bass voice because he's a no-name, so he could be any voice. Mafia Goof was pretty good. Nakuza Cat didn't hear much enough of to get a good judgment of. What is Jacko? I don't remember what Jacko is. Penelope was good. Nomad was amazing. Seal was hilarious. Cooking Cat was pretty good. And Thor was actually really good too. And then the Mafia Boss... It might have just been a bit too quiet for me. I never thought something I made would get far enough for something like that. And thanks to Starshoots for helping me figure out how figure out how outline function worked, and Crash for the cell shading one. Those were used during the battle cutscene with the backers versus the cats. That was a hilarious cutscene, I will admit. Here's a Rift token for getting through the Director Shogun down. We all knew it was going to happen at some point. Those two just can't seem to get along. Here's a Rift token for getting through the first non-stop debate and slowly getting past the idea that everyone is trying to kill everyone all the time. Here's a piece of chili fabric for getting through the second non-stop. Here's a piece of explosive yarn for making a manga. Here's some dwelly yarn for completely debunking everything during the mass panic. Here's some fast-running yarn for getting through the depressing part. Here's a rift token for proving that the minion wasn't dead yet. And here's one more game-breaking thing I didn't read fast enough for. I mean, proving the minion died... I mean, proving the minion killed a bunch of plants in rage. Well, thank you! There's so much rewards! It's always an absolute pleasure to play your mod, especially because you always tell me the day it comes out. So, yeah, I have to play this immediately, especially even when I don't have time to be playing it. Because I did not have time to play this today. I just did it anyway. So yes, it's good for us to figure out the plan and everything that happened. And it's so Snatcher to make it what happened. A rare sticker appeared in the reward ceremony. Go find it. We don't care about that. No, we just need to give this all the likes it deserves, because it deserves so many. Again, thank you for keeping this mod going. Tell me when Trial 5 comes out, because you know, I'll be playing it immediately. And I'm not going to listen to this again, because I think it's the same one as last time. It really does look like there's like a little mushroom thing in... Yeah, there it is! Huh! They really are, that really is just an old reused model. Huh, what do you know? Well! It looks like this is the end of the episode. I think the game crashed, or was trying to crash, when exiting the level, so I had to restart the game, but that's no big deal. It's Hat in Time, it does that occasionally. So yeah! It looks like, what can I say, other than thank you for making this mod, and always keeping me informed as to when it comes out. Give the YouTubers a little credit in the next chapter, okay? We love playing it, and God knows I need the publicity. So, yeah, it looks like, what can I say, everyone, other than thanks for joining me for today's episode. Join me next time for Danganronpa Trial number 5, for whenever it comes out. Be on the lookout on the channel, everybody. But everyone, I'm afraid that until then, it looks like it's time for me to bid thee all farewell, good day, and finally, good night.